morning, gang. Good morning. Welcome to this week's YouTube video. Quick update on Bitcoin, where we're at and what's happening right now. Remember, everything discussed in this video is not financial advice. It's for educational purposes only. Now that's out of the way, let's have a look what's going on. So, the monthly chart, we're still in a downtrend. Pretty obvious. Obviously, we've got a high, we've got a low, we've got a lower high, and we've got a lower low. Same can be said on the weekly. Exactly the same structure. And then on the daily, we've potentially got signs of this turning around, because obviously we've got our low, we've got a higher high, we've got a higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Could we be looking for another higher low followed by higher high? Who knows? Who knows? Right now we're just trading level to level, and right now we're still range bound, although we potentially have broken out of the range, but let's have a look at that in a second. So we talked about this on the last stream. The reason why we're not starting to look macro bullish yet is quite simply because we're in this downward sloping channel, and as long as we're in this channel, there's no reason to start looking for highs. You know, if we as we said, if we do break out of this channel, then potentially start looking for highs. Now the next, obviously the major resistance are these range lows here. So this will be the next major resistance. So obviously if we do actually break out of this consolidation, we'll be looking up here for the next move. Obviously really bad lines there, ignore those. We'll draw them on straight soon. But you guys get the picture. We're still in a downtrend. There's no reason to start getting macro bullish yet. Now, what's happening more locally? Well, first and foremost, following up on last week's stream, we talked about this time pivot. And this time pivot once again worked. So this is the time pivot we were talking about, and we're talking about how it's called some pretty significant moves on the Bitcoin chart. Once again, we were talking about that this time pivot was coming in on Monday the 18th, which is this Monday just passed, and lo and behold, exactly on the time pivot, Bitcoin had an 8% day. So this time pivot, if you've not got it on your chart, then I advise, and if you want to know how to put this on your chart, then watch last week's video. So what's happening right now? Well, have we broken out of the range? That's the ultimate question. And is this now a backtest? So what do we need to look for to make sure that this is a valid backtest? Well, we want to see some strength from the bulls here. So what we want to see is we want to see this area being defended. So we want to see a lot of volume coming in, a lot of positive delta, open interest increasing and everything, and then price moving up and then taking out this high and continuing this uptrend. If we start to lose this uptrend and price comes back down here, then this whole move could be a deviation. And what would that look like? Well, price will likely break back into this old range and then continue lower. And if it does happen, then you potentially got a short setup there. Now, what could also happen, and this is what you've got to be aware of, and this is why keeping an eye on order flow is very, very handy, is we could see a deviation back into this range, back out, and then up. And again, you've got a long trigger. So that's how we're trading right now. We're just trading level to level. If we do get acceptance back into this range and we move down, then once again, as usual, you'd be looking take profit targets at the range EQ and then ultimately at the range lows. That way, if price does get to the EQ and then turn around and pump, at least you've taken profits and you've not been greedy on your trades. That's the key to range trading, not being greedy. Take profits at specific levels. And there's another way to look at this right now as well. If we throw on a quick volume profile, we can see what's going on and we can see where the strength is. So obviously we've got the value area high here. So if you're bearish, then you're looking to get acceptance back into this whole value range here. If so, then you've got significant support around the EQ and the point of control. Now, if that doesn't hold, then again, you're looking for the value area low and then looking for the ultimate lows. Okay, so it's dead simple. Now, if this does hold right now and we get the push up and bulls decide to pull the finger out and take control, then we'll be looking up towards these range lows here. Now let's quickly draw on this range so you can see what I'm talking about. There. Zoom back into the 4 hour. So if we do get the breakout now, and this is confirmed, then we're looking for a major take profit target here and potentially looking for shorts. Now, what might happen is it might just blast straight through this level and we get no position for a shorts. That's why we want to see a reaction when we get to the level. And this is why understanding how to read the order flow really helps us with this. Because rather than blindly shorting these levels, we can actually see what's going on. Because that's what we want to see. We want to see what the traders are doing at these levels, whether they're actually accepting into this range and moving on, or they're rejecting this price thinking it's too high, and then market psychology pushing price back down again. That's what we want to see. So they're the two options that we've got on the table right now. Either A, this is a deviation. Let's zoom back into there. Let's clear this up. Either A, is this a deviation, and we're going to come back into the range, or B, is this a confirmed breakout, a back test, and then a move up to this range. Now, one thing to note is, look what happened in the last range. We had this really clear range. We had a deviation. We came back into the EQ. We ranged at the EQ. We had another deviation, again around the EQ. Final deviation, each time making lower highs. So there was your early warning. Still coming down. And we were still making lower lows on each one of these. So there was your early indication. So obviously we can use this as a bit of a lesson to what's going on here. So will this mimic this same price pattern? Who knows? But if it does, then we can learn from what's happened. Always be learning in this game. Never stop. Always be looking at things like this. Looking at patterns. Looking at trends. You know, looking at the volume. Just keep an eye on things. If you want to join us in the Discord, we do have a free Discord. Links are in the description below. You can also find links on our website where we have the Traders Discord. We also have a private Discord which is through the website, and that gives you access to over 40 hours of educational content. And in the private Discord we share a lot of ideas, we do a lot of live streams, and you guys can keep up to date with what's going on with the market rather than these free YouTube videos. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you follow us on Twitter, because we do share updates on there quite frequently. And that'll do for today's update. So thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time. All right, bye bye.